Well, hello. Like I said, my name is Becky Gorlin, and I'm a Lego robotics teacher. I'm not a robotics teacher, Lego robotics teacher, but I also teach first and second grade in the Edmonds School District. Um, I used to run a robotics program in the Granite Falls School District. Sadly, they canceled that program, so I decided to start my own. And so we're going to learn a little bit about Lego in education, kind of the things I do, and then kind of go over some first Lego League. And I have a bunch of stuff for you guys to try out, see, test out. But yeah, so I've been teaching now for 10 years. This is my 10th year. 8 of those, woohoo, I know. 8 of those I've spent teaching robotics in some kind of form at different schools. I have taught using Lego education all the way from kindergarten and preschool, all the way up to 8th grade. Taught adults, which is always fun. But I'm currently teaching elementary in the Edmonds School District and running Build Esteem, and it's kind of cool as I get to bring Build Esteem into my school. We're a Title I school, so we're really low income, and it's fun that the kids get to play with them. It's a lot of fun. I'm also part of the Lego Education Ambassador, so you've heard of Lego Ambassador. Same thing, just Lego Education. I've been doing this since 2018, and I just love Lego Education. My actual introduction to Lego was through Lego Education. I didn't realize they were two separate things, and I'll talk a little bit about that. So this is Build Esteem. We're in Linwood. We run after school hours and on Saturdays. We do 3 different levels of First Lego League, and I'll explain what that is. And we do classes all the way from, again, 4-year-olds up to adults. I have to just brag. That's all this is for. I went for research. I took my little brother because I thought it was weird, a grown adult going by herself. So thankfully my little brother just turned 15, and yeah, we flew on a plane in 2021. So one summer I decided to get a job at the Lego store because, I mean, discounts, obviously. And while I was working there, a lot of adults came in and said, hey, my student uses this in their classroom. I don't know what it is. Do you have it? And I would go, yeah, I know exactly what that is, but no, we don't sell it here. And I was the only one that understood. Every other employee was like, what are you talking about? Like, they don't have no idea. Lego education and Lego retail are completely different. Again, I didn't know that for the longest time. And so Lego education has its special products, and this is stuff that you will not see in the Lego retail stores. You have to get it at Lego education. I've used a lot of different robotics programs throughout my years. I've only been doing this for about 9 years, so NXT was before my time. So if you know anything about NXT, I've used it. I was given a box full of old NXT, and they were all dead. So I said, they're collecting dust in the corner now. But the main product I currently use right now is the Spike Learning System, and there's 2 different levels of that. You might have the company called it Mindstorm on the retail, and I did not realize that Lego doesn't sell motors anymore. And I got asked, like, what are you gonna do when Lego stops selling motors? And I go, what are you talking about? This just came out, it's brand new. And that's because only Lego Education does motors. So Lego Education has an app. It is free. It's the kits that cost money. So if we have I have like a classroom full of Chromebooks, they can all download the app, and then they can use it through the school year. It's kind of cool. The use is modeled after Scratch, and it's an introduction to Python. So it grows from block coding to word blocks to actual Python. So it kind of has a lot of different levels that you can do, and they're learning through. So we start with kindergarten all the way again through 8th grade. Prime is the kit I use for the 4th to 8th graders. Let's see here. Cool. Okay, so this is Spike Prime. I have it right here, and I have a built model. My students built it's the advanced kit robot comes with the expansion kit. But the thing about Spike Prime is that there are 6 ports, and the gyro sensor is built into the hub. So you have a large motor and 2 small motors. You have the hub, which is connected via Bluetooth. There is a computer plug-in, but the Bluetooth is really reliable, which is wonderful. You have the force or touch sensor, color sensor, and ultrasonic sensor, also known as the distance sensor. And again, the one cool thing about this from the NXT and EV3 was the gyro sensor is built into the hub itself. So you can have up to 7 7 things going at once, which is pretty cool. Oops, wrong. The Prime extension gives you another color sensor and another large motor, and then these are all the pieces. The one down part about this is they don't give you a box to put it in. So I have mine here. I know, it's really annoying, and I spent a long time organizing and putting 10 different ones away. So, I mean, this looks familiar to everybody, right? We all go to Home Depot to get those. The Essential is what I use more for the kindergarten to 4th grade. Usually if like a 4th grader is pretty high on the coding, I might bump them up. But typically I try to keep the lower. Sometimes 5th graders can use this one too when I bring it to schools. This one is very similar. They all run on program of Python. There is only 2 ports. And again, the gyro sensor is worked into it. You have a color sensor and 2 of these motors. And this is called the light matrix. So on the Spike Prime, the hub itself has like kind of lights, but only like white lights, and they can be different shades of white. But this one, it can be different colors. It can be like blue, red, and so it's kind of fun. They get to like play with it and watch it turn. So that's my favorite thing is what they can see it actually, their coding coming to life. Let's see here. What the other cool part about the Spike Essential is it comes with 4 minifigures, and all of their stuff have stories. So Daniel is in a wheelchair. You need to help him make a robot to help him get his stuff from his locker. So it kind of introduces students to different kind of disabilities and different things and how robotics helps other students, which is pretty cool. I've used things like EV3, which is retired. It's a Mindstorm EV3. This is, so when I taught at Granite Falls, CTE, which is Career Technological Education, which is funded greatly in our state. Thankfully, our OSPI, our offices of superintendent in the state, love CTE. And so he gets a lot of money. There's a lot of grants. However, 6th grade doesn't fall into that category. So teaching 6th, 7th, and 8th, 6th grade got all the hand-me-down kits. But the coolest part about it is they got to do sumo bots. Let's see this works. 3, 2, 1, go! Come on, Pink. Yeah! It gets really competitive, and sometimes they do really awkward things, which is hilarious. And 6th grade, of course, loves it. This is the core set. I would have the kids start with the driving base that LEGO gives them, and then have them modify it from there. That's kind of always where we start. I always start with the, hey, do this. Now, if there is students that, hey, I want to build my own, great, go ahead. I'm not stopping you. I encourage it. But if they go, I don't know where to start, well, here's how you start. I very much like the Montessori type learning that, hey, what do you want to do today? And have lots of different options. EV3 does have an app. They are they're letting go of the updates of these. Now EV3 is coded in Java, so there's slight differences between the EV3 app and the Spike Prime, but it is still that Scratch model, if you don't know what Scratch is. It's designed by MIT to introduce coding, and LEGO Education modified it to look just like that, since a lot of kids know what Scratch is. They have the EV3 expansion. I wouldn't give it to my students too much because it was just, we had 9 weeks. But my after-school robotics club got to use it. There's lots of cool things, a lot of fun pieces, and like 170 black connectors, and I would always make the kids count them, and they hated that part. I always made it a grade, too. That was the only way I can get them to organize things. I've also used the WeDo. So the WeDo is kind of the predecessor to the Spike Essential. So it's, again, used for kindergarten through 4th grade. It is retired and nowhere to get them, or the app for it is really hard to get to, but it's a lot of that, the big block coding. It was really cool. What I loved about the WeDo was the science kits about it. So I taught 2nd grade when I was using these kits. And one of the big lessons in 2nd grade is all about pollination and life cycle and how do plants work. Well, on here you get to make a bee, and it pollinates a flower. It uses a color sensor, so they learn about the color sensor, and it's a lot of fun. This is when I first, so I actually was an adult fan of LEGO. I didn't use much LEGO growing up. I had the box left over from my cousins, but that was about it. as an adult, I got a little more into it. And then I was walking by my principal's office and saw a box that said Lego. And I said, I want that. What is it? And so she's like, oh, yeah, I've been wanting to talk to you about this. And she's like, here's a robotic kit. Ever used them? And I said, nope. And I said, but I'm taking them. Bye. My dad's actually a programmer who specializes in Java, and I took it home, and he and I just played with it for a whole weekend. This was us trying out the B on the WeDo. So that's our dining room table. My dad's up there. He's playing with the EU3. I'm playing with the WeDo. We had a lot of fun. Okay, and now I'm excited to share with you the brand new release, Lego Science. It literally was just released. Like, I got one kit this week. The others are still on their way. But here is a little video about what it is. Let's see if you can play. Yeah, so they're really cool. Of course, everything Lego does is always standard aligned. As a teacher, whenever I'd bring this into classes, a lot of the teachers were scared to do them on their own, saying, I don't know anything about Lego. What if it breaks? I don't know what this is. The best part about the Spike Prime, the Spike learning system and the science is it's very like students can do it all on their own. So the teachers can just kind of present it to them. There are always tech issues. No matter what, there are tech issues, but they're usually pretty easy, and the kids can solve them on their own too, which has always been fun. But yeah, so I have the K2 version right here. At the end, I'll pull them out so you guys can check them out and stuff. I haven't gotten to use it too much because, again, I got it this week. School started this week. BrickCon was this week. It was a little much, so I had a student play with it a little bit. But and we just charged the hub so we can kind of take a look at it. But I'm really excited. The 3-5, the 3rd to 5th grade one is supposed to be here Thursday, and then the 6th to 8th grade is supposed to be here soon. So what's the cool part about owning a robotics company and teaching full-time in a school is I get to bring it into my classroom. So this is my classroom. These are 1st and 2nd grade. I do a 1-2 combo in the Edmond School District. You can just see all the engagements. Now I would have 3 classes, so we'd have about 90 kids. We have different centers. So we do a Lego quilt. They would be partnered with kits. One time we just pushed all the tables to the side because it was way easier. But we have like building cars and snowmen. I would always try to get some stuff off the pick-a-brick wall so they can take it home. But, you know, they're always a reward. And my kids, you know, earn them a lot more than other classes because I gotta still teach them while I teach others as well. But what's pretty cool is my principal got a grant so I can get a sub and teach them, which is really cool to other classes. So this is one of those times when I brought the Spike Prime to a 5th grade class. So yeah, sub for me. I went to the 5th grade class. As you can tell, boys always wear the hoods. I don't know why, but they're having fun. They build dancing robots. Here they're building little, I think they're building little cars or the dots, and we have a lot of fun with those. I kind of want to go over a couple terms you might not be familiar with. Obviously, everyone here knows full steam ahead and why it's not STEM anymore. It's STEAM, because art is just as important. STEM usually was always very male-dominated, but an art field is typically, I'm going to put typically, female-dominated, and so it's nice to have everything more included, because I've worked in so many different fields and everything, and But yeah, so art motivates students and inspires students. It's really cool to just put a box of Lego in front of students and see what kind of creature they come up with. Let's see here. First, FLL. I might call it FLL sometimes, First Lego League. FIRST is an international organization that's been running since 1989. It stands for Inspiration and Recognition of Science and Technology. FIRST. So you always have to put in capital letters. It's an international youth organization that operates various robotics competitions, and it's developed new ways for students to inspire them to get them ready for the workforce in a sense. There are 3 levels that FIRST offers. First Lego League, which in itself has 3 levels. First Tech Challenge, which you guys heard about they had their kickoff here yesterday. And then you have First Robotics, so FRC. FRC, FTC, FLL. Sometimes I forget people don't know those acronyms. I've gone to a couple FRC competitions, and I had a robot run over my foot, and it hurt a lot. FTC is a lot smaller. The problem with the FRC is it's very expensive to get a program going. FTC is a lot less, and FLL, of course, anyone can start them. It's pretty cool. So I want to go a little more into depth about the 3 different levels of FLL, First Lego League. This is the youngest division. It's called First Lego League Discover. It's for preschool and kindergarten age students. They use Lego Duplo to discover STEM or STEAM while engaging in their natural curiosity. This year's theme is Unearth, and I have Lego Discover right here. What's really cool about Lego Discover is it actually has an at-home part to do with them with their parents. So each one of these kids it's just like 12 Duplo bricks, and they have to color coordinate them. There's different tasks that they do with them. It's kind of cool. That's one of my favorite parts about Discover. The next is First Lego League Explore for kindergarten to 4th grade. So I usually give kindergartners a choice whether they want to Discover or Explore. They learn about real-world problems and explore the solutions while learning the fundamentals in engineering using Lego bricks. They mostly use the Spike Essential. The Lego Discover uses the Duplo Steam Pack. I did not bring that one because it's a little bigger, but it's Lego Education has Duplo, which is great. It's like a train. There's a Steam Pack. They make amusement parks, and if you know what I build, I love roller coasters and amusement parks, so it was like, yay, I got too excited. These are my teams this is when it was First Lego League Junior, but now it's First Lego League Explorer. I had a few mini students sign up. We had 4 teams. They met once a week. Thankfully, I had a lot of parent volunteers. These teams are no more than 6, so 2 to 6 students. That was our showcase. What I love about First Lego League Explorer is it's a showcase. It's not a competition. Every team wins an award. Everyone's recognized. They get little medals. I absolutely love it. This was last year. What was pretty cool was they were actually at a FRC competition. So the FRC competition was going on simultaneously as our showcase. And the judges were FRC students. So it was like on their break, they came over and judged. The really cool part about it was, has anyone here ever been to an FRC or? Okay, the really cool part about it is it's in a school. And in the cafeteria, they move all the chairs, and they have the pit. And every team has their own section. And there's welding going on in the school cafeteria. It's insane. They make you wear safety goggles, but it's really cool. They took their time and came and talked to us. So those are 2 of my students right there talking to one of the coaches. He's showing them the robot they made. You can't see in the picture, but on this side there's like a student there coding, and the student was showing them their code. But it was really cool, and they can see what they want to do in the future. This was their table. I'm very big about kids do it all. In kindergarten to 4th grade, typing is not their most forte, so we did a lot of handwriting, but you can see other tables do more typing. They came up with a creature. They had to come up with a creature from last year that they would see in the ocean. They came up with a Squirtle squid. and a farting shark. Because boys, that's all I'm gonna say. And so yeah, they had like the shark moving, and it farted every time. They loved it. They were very proud of it. I'm very proud of them too. Okay, and then the last one here is the First LEGO League Challenge. This is the one I've been very familiar with and I've worked with for 8 years. Let's see here. This is, I usually use it for 4th to 8th grade. I let 4th graders pick whether they want to be an Explore or in Challenge. If it's their first year, I always suggest they try and Explore, but if they want to do Challenge, hey, why am I going to stop them? Let's see here. In this division, the students are challenged by friendly competitions, by researching a real-world problem, and coming up with their own solutions. They engage in research, problem-solving, coding, and engineering through this process. These are some just, this is the mission from, this is this year. So the theme this year, I'm gonna show you a little video about the theme for this year. It just got released in August, and I brought the table. We just built it. We haven't started yet, but we just built it so you guys can see it too. So this kind of shows you how each of them is scored. And this video is going to explain kind of each one of the missions, I think. Yeah.
This is the Unearthed competition field. There are 15 missions, which can be done in any order. You do not have to complete all the missions. Just try as many as you can in each 2.5-minute match. Only the score from your best match will be counted. Your robot must start completely inside one of the launch areas, and you should program it to return to either home area. You can handle and modify your robot between runs while it is completely inside either home area. Make sure to read the Robot Game Rulebook to understand how points are scored for each mission and to understand the rules that apply before, during, and after a match. Teams should demonstrate core values at the robot game and will receive a gracious professionalism score at each official match. Teams will start every match with an accomplished score, but developing and exceed scores are also possible depending on the core values a team demonstrates. Equipment inspection. Before the match begins, you will need to pass the pre-match inspection and set all your equipment in place. Your robot and all your equipment must fit in both launch areas and under a height limit of 12 inches. If all your equipment can fit in just one launch area and under this height limit, your team will score points. Mission 1. Surface brushing. You'll need special tools to clean and uncover buried artifacts without damaging them. Brush away sediment to uncover a piece of this civilization's past.
These are all
if soil deposits are completely cleared, touching the mat,
done by a robot.
If the archaeologist's brush is not touching the dig site. Mission 2. Map reveal. Archaeologists work to unearth important clues about how a civilization lived. Shift and remove topsoil to reveal sections of a hidden map. If topsoil sections are completely cleared, Mission 3. Mineshaft Explorer. Ayana the archaeologist is on a mission to discover every secret of the dig site and share what she finds with her team. If your team's minecart is on the opposing team's field, bonus. And if the opposing team's minecart is on your team's field. Mission 4. Careful recovery. When parts of a site are too dangerous for humans, technology can be used to safely recover artifacts. If the precious artifact is not touching the mine, if both mine support structures are standing. Mission 5. Who lived here? Rebuild the structure to restore a vital part of the village where people once lived. If the structure floor is completely upright, Mission 6. Forge. Ayana's team believes this forge was used to smelt ore and craft tools. Release the ore blocks and search carefully. One block holds a mysterious artifact waiting to be discovered. If ore blocks are not touching the forge, Mission 7, heavy lifting. This millstone enabled people to process grain and gives insight into their daily lives. Due to its size, moving this artifact could prove to be a challenge. If the millstone is not touching its base. Mission 8, silo. Empty the silo of the preserved food so it can be analyzed at the lab. If preserved pieces are outside the silo,
It's actually one of the hardest ones on the table. You have to like really whack it.
Mission 9, what's on sale? Restore the market stall and reveal items that were once traded between the village and its visitors. If the roof is completely raised, if the market wares are raised. Mission 10, tip the scales. This ancient tool ensured that each item received a fair and balanced price. If the scale is tipped and touching the mat, if the scale pan is completely removed.
You can't remove the scale pan without tapping down the scale.
Mission 11, angler artifacts. Your team has discovered some interesting artifacts at the port. Use the crane to excavate the site. If artifacts are raised above the dig site, bonus. And if the crane flag is at least partly lowered. Mission 12, salvage operation. An ancient ship discovered at the beach is at risk of further decay. Excavate the vessel without damaging its delicate structure. If the sand is completely cleared, if the ship is completely raised. Mission 13, statue rebuild. Reconstruct the statue to help piece together its historic significance. If the statue is completely raised. Mission 14, forum. Deliver artifacts to the forum. Consider what the artifacts tell you and what mysteries remain. If an artifact is touching the mat and is at least partly in the forum. Mission 15, site marking. There's so much yet to be discovered at this dig site. Place flags to mark locations for further study. If sites have a flag at least partly inside and touching the mat, precision tokens. If you interrupt your robot outside home, you will lose a precision token. Precision tokens left on the field will result in extra points. The less you interrupt your robot outside home, the more points you will keep. Remember to read the Robot Game Rulebook and to check for challenge updates during the season. Good luck with the Unearthed Robot Game.
So it's so each year has a different theme, and so this is this year's, and everything has to do with the archaeology. So students are learning about what it takes to be an archaeologist, and every year is a different theme. This year is Unearthed. Last year was Submerged. I've done Cityscape. I've done Space. That one's really cool. Mark Hamill actually announced that one. And I've done like fun play. 1 year was Masterpiece. It was really cool. My team did really well on that one. I was very proud. Okay, so the qualifiers for First LEGO League are in December. In the Western Washington, you have 3 levels to get there. You have qualifiers, and from there, you go on to semifinals and then to state. Western Washington just has qualifiers and finals. Sorry, Eastern Washington. Each competition has 4 aspects that the students are judged on, and they're equally as important. So yes, the robot game is very important, but it's not all that matters. The robot game, you saw the different points. You get a scale on your competition. There's usually about 30 teams. They'll put it up how many points you get 3 runs. Robots never work on competition days, of course. I've had gyro sensors break. I've had robots not turn on. I've had robots turn off randomly in the middle of the session. So it always happens. So that you do 3 best of. Your robot design. So in the morning part, you go to like a judging room and you show them the robot, why you designed it, what kind of arm attachments, what you did. That is judged. And so they are allowed to use Spike Prime or EV3. Most teams use Spike Prime. NXT is allowed, but mostly you see Spike Prime. The innovation project. So this is the part that usually gets forgotten in FLL. They have to come up with an idea to solve this real world problem. So last year my students were submerged. So they made a video game to teach other students about rain gardens to keep our oceans clean. I thought it was very innovative. The year before that was art, and my kids went to our art teacher and said, how can we help you? And she's like, our paintbrushes are always messy, and I don't like washing them. So they made an automatic paintbrush cleaner for our art teacher. It was pretty cool. Lastly is the core values. This is actually kind of the one that I hold close to my heart. Core values are teamwork, inclusion, impact, fun, discovery, and innovation. Each one of these categories gets the top 2 will get an award. You can't get like robot game and robot design. You only get 1. So at the end, then there's the 8 trophies that go out, and then there's like the top 2 of everything. And then if you do well, it depends on how many teams there are, go on to semifinals. So one year it was like 9 teams and we had 30. One year was only 7 teams and there was like 32. So it really just depends on the year. The different tournaments, again, we have semifinals. They're the first 2 weeks in December. Qualifiers are the first 2 weeks in December. Semifinals are in January. Finals are in February. 28 teams go to finals. 96 go to semifinals. This is the first year I did them. We had a robot. This is back in the EV3. This is our space days. Tables have changed so much every year. But again, none of these kids had ever coded before, had ever done any of this before, and we had a blast. I left that school, but I went back and watched them compete their next year. This was my first year in Granite Falls. We were Mark, or they named the robot Mark. They just were obsessed with the word Mark, I don't know why, but they came up with mechanically awesome robotic kids. And then we were construction, because it was all about construction. And what's really cool is actually our manufacturing class made the t-shirts for us. This is in Arlington. We went to competition in Arlington, and we had fun. Again, these kids had never coded before. We had a 6th grader and a 7th grader in that picture. During COVID, they had more at-home ones, obviously. My school was pretty shut down, so we had in-class challenges for 2 years. So this is the table. This is my classroom. We had the 2 tables. Each team did their own. It was their project for the semester, is kind of what it was. And only my 7th and 8th graders did this. This was 3 years ago. I had 2 teams. I had so many students that wanted to participate. I had 2 teams. We had the Electric Tigers and then the Electrons. So the theme was superpowered. It's all about electricity and how it's created, stored, and used. I had 3 kids on the spectrum in this one, and their growth was just amazing. And again, most of these kids, it was their first year coding. 2 years ago, this was the Art Tigers and the Innovative Inventors. What was actually pretty cool about this team is this team won their entire qualifiers. Again, kids have never coded or 1 or 2 years. I have a kid on there that couldn't read, and the kids really supported him, helped him practice his lines, and they were amazing. But they won their whole tournament. I was so proud. I had never had a team go on to qualifiers before, and to win the whole thing, I was like crying. My 6th grade team also went on too, which again, I was like floored. I'd never had a team go on. I was so proud of them all. And I had 2 kids in here that were life skills students, so they had to have one-on-ones at all times, and they had a lot of medical things. This is us at semifinals in Ballard. We did not go on to finals, but we did get top core values, which was, again, my favorite. It was kind of crazy because we were like gonna meet every day after school to practice, to get everything down. And it was the week we had snow and we couldn't practice at all. So the Friday before was like the only day we had school. And I pulled all the kids out of classes and said, we're just practicing all day long. I got permission from the principal. And then it was kind of cool. The kids were like, I was gonna email them all, like, we're gonna do a Zoom meeting and practice it. And they actually had it already set up because they had decided to do it before I even said we should. So you can kind of see me crying here. But these were the awards we all won. Again, I was so proud of them. This is last year, Submerge. This is the first year I did this with Build to Steam. And we did to Bellevue. The kids were, again, so gracious. They had a lot of fun. I had such a diverse team. We had 4th graders, we had 7th graders. We had kids that have coded before, kids that never coded before. We had a blast. It was exhausting, as it always is, but we had a lot of fun. We didn't go on this year, but hey, here comes the next year. Starting a team. If you are ever interested in starting a team, don't let the scare of, I don't know how to code. I don't know what to do. Don't let that scare you. It's actually good if you don't know how to code because that makes the kids do it. It's all about the kids. At competitions, judges will tell you, I don't want to talk to you. I only talk to kids. And so a lot of these teams, you can tell the parents do the work, the kids don't really know much about it. And it just breaks my heart because those are the teams that go on to nationals. And I'm like, no, I want the kids to do it. Tell us about the kid projects. So like when they did the art and the paintbrush cleaner, what was pretty cool is my family's Jewish, lives in LA. 3 guesses what they do. One of my cousins in music in Hollywood, and so he actually Zoom called with them and gave them a lot of advice, and it was really cool. I think it kind of helps with that too. But the key with it all is having fun. I would have kids we need a break, Miss Gorlin, and so they get on chairs and just race down the hallway because I'm like, take a break, you need it. But yeah, it's all about having fun. So as you can see, I love my students. I love what I do. I get paid to play with Lego, essentially. I have some mats here. I have the mat for this year. Come try it out. Come test it out. Come play with it. I have the science kit. I have an EV3, not an EV3, a Spike Prime, a Spike Essential. And then I will take some questions. I'll put that up. So. Usually it's about once a week.
Can you repeat that?
She asked how often do I meet with students. It's usually 1 to 2 times a week. When I was in middle school, we would, from the second week of school till the competition in December, we meet twice a week for an hour. Currently, I meet with my kids for 2 hours on Saturdays, and then they get 1 hour of work time on their own.
So you were talking about how you can either use Spike Prime or EV3, and then the kits come with a lot of pieces, but not all 9,000 pieces Lego's ever made. What is the rules around which pieces you can use? Does it have to all be Lego bricks?
They all have to be Lego brand bricks and unmodified. Obviously, no glue is allowed. The only modification they do is the tubes. You're allowed to cut the tubes. That's
flex
the only,
tube. Yeah,
the flex tubes. Otherwise than that, you cannot. It's strictly all Lego, but all 9,000 bricks are available. You can use whatever
so if there's some cool part from 1957, you can use it. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah. No, they encourage. I have a bunch of Lego. We love to make the Lego models from our innovation project too. So it's it's Lego is your limit. But yeah.
With the Lego education kits, how many do you need per class?
I usually suggest 1 per 2 students. It makes them learn how to share. Usually if you get 3, sometimes I end up having to do 3 just because of numbers. Always 1 kid sitting on their own, not doing the work. So I try to keep with 2. And with the FLL, you only get 1 kit, though. That's the other rule. You only get 1 kit. You get 1 hub. But yeah, sometimes that's why I have other centers and other things for them to do if we don't have enough kits. Anything else? Any other questions? Yeah.
with the science kit, what is the goal there? What differentiates it from some of the other Lego education stuff that's come out?
It's more about like the science and like the movement and the like weight and the physics kind of aspect of it. Again, I haven't really had too much time to mess around with it, but they're all in the book. There is no coding. It's all in the book, which is different from this. These, there is no remote control. It is all coded. It has to be autonomous. And that's kind of where I differ from a lot of things is I don't do remote controls. You have to code it to run autonomously, where this has no coding. It's more about the building aspect of it and the kind of just that hands-on movements and fine motor skills, especially for the little ones. Oh, got one more over here.
So for that video you were showing with all the different missions, what are all the functions that you need to be programming your robot to do? And is it all task specific, or is it go to this space and then like look for this color, or like what is it doing exactly at each of those locations, or at a couple of those locations, for example?
Yeah, every robot's a little different. Some will use like a color sensor. This is a robot a student's build. They have a color sensor on here. So some of the mat does have like black lines, so stop at a black line is a important lesson. But some of them have to like push things down. Some have to move things up. Something has to grab it and bring it back to base. When it's at base, they can remove arms and change them out. So like for example, this one, I can pull off this arm and then add another one for a different, because some have an up and down movement, some have a side-to-side movements. It really just depends on how you go at approach it. And every team does it a different way. Some teams will, and the key is to try to do more than one mission in a run. So once it comes back to the base, they are welcome to maneuver and change pieces out, add pieces on if they collected something. But again, it's just really how you approach it. I've seen like ones where you can tell they wanted you to like lift it up, but I've seen other ones where they pull it up or something like that. It really just depends on your approach. And again, every student does it differently.
So if you whack the structure that you're supposed to be interacting with on the way there, are you screwed?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. They are all interlocked down, so it's pretty hard to pull them off. But yeah, if it is, it's hopefully your next run goes better. Yeah.
Assuming that the scoring last year or in previous years is similar, where you could get up to 30 per module on the mat, is that normally the case?
Yeah, it's about normal.
What's a normal decent score for one of those 2-minute blocks? Are we trying to get 60 points, or like? Well, I have no idea.
My team that got second place for the over one had 320 points.
In 1 2-minute chunk?
In 1 2.5 minutes,
wow,
they had 300. But again, they got second place out of 30.
Yeah,
and
but I was just trying to get a
semifinals.
sense of like what's realistic in that 2 minute. Okay.
What I always suggest is start with the easy stuff. Do the easy stuff first. And how I like to do a divide and conquer, where the kids pick their models and their modules they're going to work on, and we all have one base robot. So we usually sometimes make like 3 of them, so we can have 3 people practicing at the same time. Yeah, I mean, I've seen teams, they get 60 points, and hey, you were there, you did great, good job. Like when we went to semifinals, our robot kept breaking down. We got 100 points at semifinals, but we got 320 at qualifiers. It happens. Yeah, our gyro sensor for some reason stopped working, and a lot of our turns were all based on gyro sensor, so it just started doing circles. It just did donuts on the map. It was funny. It was funny, and I was crying at the same time. Yeah, but it happens. That's why you have 3 times. I like to start with the base spots that the Lego gives. I had one judge tell us that that's amazing. You start where you want to start what they know. I've had other judges that judge me and say, no, you need to have these very special looking bots that you can get off FLL casts. And I'm like, no, I don't care if they win. I care if they learn. That's what we're here for. We're here to learn. If we win, awesome. I'm going to cry and be excited. If we don't, what did you learn and did you have fun? That's all that matters. Kind of like what I tell my softball students and they ask the score, I'm like, did you have fun? Then you're winning. It's really all that matters, is what did you have fun and what did you learn? And my favorite thing is when kids tell me I didn't learn anything. I'm like, so you thought? Because they're learning fine motor skills, they're learning problem solving skills, they're learning how to work together, how to not give up. That is a big thing. A lot of students right now give up too easily. I see kids just shut down. They slam their Chromebooks down, head down, because they're frustrated. I had a kid, he would do that at every turn he had trouble with. After a robot club, it was 3 times before he shut down, but it was better. So he learned something. But yeah. Is there anything online?
We don't have anybody online with
Okay.
any questions. You do have a couple more minutes.
Okay.
If there's
Well, I have
anything.
these to come up and check them out.
Yeah.
Come on up.
Pro tip, I know this is Lego education for, potential educators, but as an AFOL, you're okay to go to
LegoEducation.com.
LegoEducation.com. You can use all the resource, buy the stuff. You do not have to be a teacher to access those resources. So just so you know,
Yes.
I work in robotics all the time. I've bought a lot of stuff there without being an educator. So
Yeah. And again, we're in Linwood. I have my business card here and some stickers about our program. Come by, check it out. I love to talk about this. If you want to start a FL team, ask me questions. I will gladly tell you, talk your ear off. So. Nice. Yeah, come on, touch. Lego is meant to be played with. I just want it all back at the end.